We have learned how to conquer burnout. And These are all things that we talk about in our keynotes because they truly are critical that we do have more energy now than we've ever had in our 20s, our 30s, even our 40s.
You've been thinking about starting a podcast for months, maybe even years. But every time you sit down, the questions pile up. What will I call it? What will the cover look like? What am I going to talk about? Who will even listen? And where do I start? That's where Podcrafter comes in. It takes away the overwhelm and does the heavy lifting for you. Cover art, titles, even your tagline. It creates and scripts your episodes for you. It's programmed to do a podcast with the things that I teach. For instance, how to hit the road running, what's a good hook, all those things that take time and energy to figure out. Podcrafter does it for you. So in 7 days or less, you'll have a podcast ready to launch and you'll step into your role as the authority in your field. Your voice, your story, your stage, finally live. Go to Coach Laurie, LAURIE.com.
Has your life, your dreams been interrupted? Good news. It is possible to reinvent our lives. People are doing it every day, and some are brave enough to share the struggles, disappointments, and challenges. If you are looking for a new beginning, a do-over, or to rediscover your passion, maybe even find a new one, then grab a cup of coffee and let's talk. Interrupted, Act 2, Reinventing Your Legacy, with your host, Coach Laurie.
You've met them before, Ginine and Mr. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Their hearts in sync. They also have a TV show called RockStar Diaries. Tracy Smith, Ginine Smith, welcome.
Hello. Oh my gosh. Yay.
So
Lori Hardy in the flesh.
Yeah.
In the Zoom.
In the Zoom. Oh my gosh. We're so happy to be here.
I'm so glad that you decided to come on. And I want to explain your background since this is audio. I love how you have your hearts in sync light. That's so beautiful. And I love that you have guitars because you're musicians. And I work in radio. And do you know almost every either manager or program director, when I go into their personal office, they almost always have guitars on their walls.
Really?
Yeah, they've won them or been gifted them, or some of them actually play them. And I don't know what it is, but to me, when I see guitars on the wall, it's so inviting.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why chicks love the guitars. I play them at all. They're just hanging on the wall.
We do. We have a friend that has like this really nice guitar. It's autographed by Keith Urban because he lives in Nashville, this friend of ours. And his wife bought it for him because he kept saying that he wanted to learn how to play guitar, but he's so busy, he hasn't picked it up once. It's on the wall like as a piece of art.
Yeah. I can't play it, but I got it.
Yes.
So funny story about Tracy. Tracy's actually from the East Coast, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Philadelphia area.
Okay, so there's that kind of dry sense of humor on the West Coast. Sometimes we don't get that. I was so lucky to go see you two sing at the Healing Park event. Ginine, your sister, and Angie was there, and she sat by me and she shook her head. She said, "Sometimes I don't know if he's really serious or absolutely hilarious," and I love that because I was like, hilarious.
Serious is not his middle name, I tell you what.
One thing about this podcast being interrupted is, Ginine, you came on before you and Tracy were married. You had kind of just connected again because your love story is kind of a disconnect. I love that you have this amazing love story and then now you're doing all these incredible things together.
Yeah, let's just jump right into, well, it kind of all goes together. We are the founders of Hearts in Sync Productions and the TV show RockStar Diaries, Healing Out Loud. Our mantra is simple.
Don't be afraid to act stupid. No, it's not.
Hearts are in sync when people listen.
That is correct.
Everything we do, whether it's through our music, our keynote concerts, the TV show, the stage productions, it's all about elevating hearts and minds and helping people reconnect with what matters most, because that's exactly what we did later in life.
I don't know if you can visually see that we are like in our later stages of life. It's like some people wait forever to launch. We somehow managed to launch by just going through our, what do you call it? The experience that we gained, being prepared, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden being at the right place at the right time. It's really not that. It's just that you're just being genuine and authentic at the right place. And also being able to get outside off your sofa to be at the right place.
People talk all the time about wanting to make the world a better place and to leave a legacy, but you can't do that scrolling or watching Netflix. We believe that Rockstar Ripple Effect isn't something that you just leave someday or when I get older or when I die. It's something that we live right now. Every song we write, every story we tell, every leader that we help rise up again, it's all part of that Rockstar Ripple Effect. We want to help people. You do too, Lori. You're in the same type of business. You help women and men do that. Tell their story on a grand level to where they show that if they can do it, we can do it.
Exactly.
If you can do it, I can do it.
We're examples of just getting up and launch. Just do it. Just be ready.
Oh man. I think I spent too many years just sitting there wanting to do something and learning. Don't get me wrong, I learned a lot and it was all up in my head, but it takes standing up and actually taking action.
I love that. I love the Rockstar Ripple Effect. That's a hashtag we'll be using.
Yay.
What I love about it is two things. As I always say, push record, just do it.
Yes.
And it's not because you're not ready. It's because we're sitting, we're just going, I wish. And so many people, I'm a coach, and so many people want to talk about what they want to do. And I'm like, I got to stop you there. I've heard this story 10 times. Push record, do the thing, then come back. And I don't want to be rude, but I know when we take action. And so that's why my program's called Leaving a Legacy, but I always say, live your legacy.
Lori has been a great supporter behind the scenes, telling us forever, maybe like 2 years. You gotta press record. You gotta get a podcast or TV show or whatever. You gotta start somewhere. And we're like, yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We were building our business Hearts in Sync. And let me tell you a little bit about Hearts in Sync and where that came from. Because I've been in the corporate world as a C-suite and as a trainer for 3 decades, but we're also musicians, songwriters. We've toured, and we wanted to build a platform that merged music, storytelling, and leadership transformation, put it all together to make it unique, make it special, make it to where it's not just a normal keynote, right? Just showing up. But it also was a way for us to show our authenticity, because I think for so many years, I separated my passion from my work. Let's think of my work as the corporate job, and then my passion has always been music, storytelling, helping people. I separated them. And I know a lot of people do that. And then you get older and you think, wow, that's too much work to keep those separated, to wear those different masks.
Was that true for you too, Tracy?
Yes, because I would be at work and people be like, you're a musician? What? Really? That kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, I had songs played on TV and film. And then, what? When you're at work, you're a different persona, I believe. But then this now is taking the experience from work, pushing it all together into this company. And I really believe we are doing an impact somewhere, somehow. It's turning into an impact, because, hey, if we can go to Romania, right. I've never been out of the country. And that was like, what an eye-opening experience that was.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's where 3 Days to Utopia, which is on our album, comes in. Because it was our experience with going to Romania and meeting this amazing woman, her name was Olga, who had basically been in the Ukraine with her 3 kids in a basement while the bombs went off over their head. They had a little bit of water and no food for 3 days. And they escaped Ukraine, went to Romania. She walked with her 3 kids. we are so touched by that we ran back to the hotel room and made a song. But what's more important is that we've been in contact with her. She's on my Instagram. We follow up.
What's really wild about that story is that we had to actually talk to her through Google Translator because she's like some kind of former Russian, Ukrainian Russian, whatever it is, and it was different than Romanian, so no one there could actually
Speak
interpret.
Yeah.
Google Translator. We're like, hey, we found out that she's like a hairstylist and that she lost all her equipment, and we knew that she only had like 6 months to be in this shelter, and they kick you out. You have to have a job, do something. So her skill, she didn't have any materials for that. So we're like, hey, we know hairdressers, maybe they'll donate some stuff and send it over there, And so we're asking her this. It's like, would you like us to get your stuff, get you stuff? And she's like, no, that wouldn't be prudent. And we're like, won't be prudent. And she thought that we were going to go back in Ukraine to get her stuff. And we're like, no, we're not going to go back in Ukraine. We're not that crazy. But yeah, definitely. We got her finally to get some headway in what she was doing. We actually went to other orphanages and other villages where they needed people like her. And we actually collaborated and got them together.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because some people maybe look at what's happening in the world and don't think that they can make a difference. I know that was me at one point. You're sad, like during the COVID. I just was sad because I'm looking at what's going on around the world, and I think to myself, how can somebody just little old me make a difference? You just never know who you're touching. Could be just that one person that hears your story and is blown away and comes forth and, oh, now I have the freedom to tell my story because you told your story.
Going south to a land of freedom, 3 days on the road. Can someone tell us why we're here? Will we ever get out of here? Hit the road, start walking. Will we ever get out of here? Find a home utopia.
Another thing I wanted to talk about Romania is those kids over there, they love music. And music is so powerful when it comes to a lot of different things. It's healing, it's therapy, it's also good for math. They found out that younger kids, when you're like 3rd grade, they start to play the piano, they get better at math. We didn't really have enough money to go over there and take over a whole bunch of instruments in our luggage. So we got those little shaker eggs, but they loved them. And they were able to keep it, because a lot of times people would go over there and they would have like a university come in and they would play an instrument and say, hey, check it out, for a day. And then they take it back with them. And so these poor kids don't have any instruments to stay with them. That's one of my goals, is to eventually, start that up, to get instruments in people's hands, that kind of a rockstar ripple effect.
Yes, but you know what? Growing up, we were dirt poor. Can you say it out loud? Dirt poor. And my parents couldn't afford a instrument for me to play. So guess what? I used my voice. I became a singer. And that's what a lot of these Romanian kids did. They started singing. They started dancing. They actually, for the team that went up there, which is the Power of We, the Legacy of Hope tour, they wrote, of course it was in Romanian, they wrote a stage production just for us. And so they got into acting. So I just think that that's amazing, using their resources, effectively that way. I mean, who taught them that? I just think that's glorious.
Yes.
And that's what I love about both of you, is you said yes. You know what you know what you know.
I love that you say that. You know what you know what you know.
That's kind of funny. It's like that Jim Carrey movie, Yes Man. He had to say yes through the entire movie, but it opened up so many doors. It really does. We're part of associations with other musicians and all that. And they're just like, well, how did you get where you're at? Well,
it's because we're so talented. We're like better than anybody. No, it's not like that.
You got to just have a relationship with people and not expect anything out of it. Don't even bother thinking about, what can I get out of this relationship? What can they do for me? That's the ruin of people. You develop a relationship, and then those relationships, people do things. We do things together. There's like cross-pollination. We love helping each other out. It's like a network society, but network is kind of a dirty word lately, It's
community.
Community, yes.
Yes. And we're starting, I've talked to you, Lori, about some of the discouragement and frustrations of when you become a podcast or a TV show host. It's new to us. We just celebrated our 90-day mark, I believe.
Woo!
And we're just going strong. But there are frustrations. And one of the things that is starting to happen with us that we absolutely love is we have guests reaching out to us that want to be on our show. And the first thing that they say is, I want to help you. I've got this amazing story, but let's collaborate so I can highlight you guys on my social media. And,
Yes.
we're like, whoa, like, that's pretty cool.
What you said is so true. And if we can reach out to even people that we think are so much better than us and say, how can I help you? How can I support you? It feels a little odd because it's like, little old me, how can I help you? But people that have been doing great things, usually people don't say, how can I help you? They say, what can you give me?
Yeah.
We found out that the people that are on the way up, those people that are really doing it and they're succeeding, they love to talk and be a help. And not only that, they want to hear your story. They don't want to just talk about themselves. They want to hear what's going on. They want to be a part. I love it. I love, meeting people like that. You think that they're too much of a star. You find out that, hey, they're just actual real people and they're really just good people, sweethearts. Roger Fisher is one of those guys that we met.
Roger Fisher from Heart.
From
yes.
Heart. We just could not believe how much of a sweetheart he was in this interview process.
Truly a sweetheart. I do want to mention what he did for your brother, because like you were saying, you meet these people and when they just are so giving and flourishing you with their grace or whatever you want to, their knowledge. And I think we told you about this, Lori, when we went and he invited us to his brand new studio in Washington State, which is where I'm from. And we had driven about an hour and a half to be there. His dog, right before we had left to drive up there, had been injured and was at the vet. Then he had just found out that his brother, Michael Fisher, was sick. So we get there and we didn't check our phones. He had tried to leave us messages like, hey, can we reschedule because I've got these things going on.
We were on the phone taking video of the countryside. It's so beautiful.
It was so beautiful. We're like,
mountains, rivers,
gold bar, And we get there and he comes running out. And you want to tell a story?
He was just like, oh, didn't you get our messages? And I'm like, no. It's like, we were on the road and he's like, oh, well, we have to go back to the vet. And we're like, do you need us to schedule for another time? We drove an hour and a half to get there. And he goes, no, you're here. Let's do it. It's like, he could have easily said, yeah, let's do it another time. You know, that kind of thing. So, but
invited us into his home, into his property to show us the Zen.
He even showed us his bathroom.
Oh yes, we're in the bathroom for 10 minutes.
And his bathroom is kind of like a museum, and it has all these things and plaques and pictures and all kind of. It's a history inside the bathroom. It's awesome.
And then he actually agreed to talk to his brother, who Tracy's brother also has stage 4 cancer and is going through a little bit of a low right now. You asked Roger if he could call him and speak to him.
And my brother is kind of like, he has ups and downs and you don't know what he's going to say, or you just have no idea what you're going to get. Even if he's going to answer the phone, sometimes he just doesn't. And he did. He answered it, and we were expecting like a minute call. No, he's on the phone, my brother, like 10, 15 minutes.
Yes.
And we're like, wow, he's just like breathing life into my brother.
Life. Yeah.
It just, guy's a sweetheart. It's just amazing. And he was talking about his own brother, that his own brother was diagnosed like 3 months prior to that with pancreatic cancer. And didn't we know that the week after we were there, his brother suddenly passed away?
Yes.
And that was a shock. I mean, for him, it was a shock for us too. Like we just got to know him, and it just felt like so out of order. Sometimes that happened with my sister too. When she passed in November, it was out of order.
Maybe this is the time that we actually mention our TV show, because we've been going on. Roger's going to be a guest probably at the end of September or first week of October. It's called RockStar Diaries, Healing Out Loud with Heart, Humor, and Harmony. We are a variety show because we are musicians. We know a lot of musicians, so we have comedy and music, but we really highlight guests who have gone from pain to purpose, trauma to triumph. We have cancer survivors, people in recovery, people grieving their wife or husband or their widow, that type of thing. We have all different types of guests. And we're really proud to be able to, because Roger was able to share some things, again, not knowing that his brother would die that very next week, share some things that he had never shared before. And it was funny, Lori, because the whole time I kept going, can I videotape this? Is this okay? Like, I wanted to make sure I got permission because he really went into some vulnerable moments that he had never shared before on YouTube or live TV.
And we watched a lot.
And we watched a lot, and
Just,
we are going to
research
feature all of that with
Mixing
Roger Fisher.
stories.
Yes, we're really excited. But RockStar Diaries, yes, it came all together, I think. Talking to you, Lori, you kept really encouraging us to start a podcast. It just never felt like the right time because we were building the business. I'm not making excuses. It wasn't the right time to press record. And then that time came when you said, just press the button. And we're like, yep. And we took everything that we know that we do and are passionate about, and we've worked it all into one show, which is our baby.
It was such a good thing to get the business done first because there is so much entailed with a TV show that we had no idea. It is just, oh my gosh, the things we have to do, editing and procuring sponsors, editing. Did I say editing? Goodness. All that stuff, getting it together. Technology kicks our butt.
Playground bully intimidates. You can't have no fun. Skinny bro sister, she made him run. We stand in the middle of 1,000 billion stars, waiting for a message. It's gonna be alright. It might not be easy, just takes a little time. Wake up to a new day, everything will be alright.
We are basically, it's like 2 full-time jobs we're doing right now, basically.
But we love it, and it's all worth it when we have a guest, and we've had several that have been afraid to share their story, or maybe not afraid, but very nervous.
Right.
That type of thing. We don't just interview people, and you're the same, Lori, with you watch your shows. I shouldn't say watch, we listen, and we've been on your show a few times, but we allow this safe space. You allow a safe space, and it's just conversational where we're talking about something and trying to get our story across, but it's all about that safe space and creating that. And that is the number one thing that we hear from people is, man, I was so nervous, and I thought I was going to be stumbling over my words and saying and ah, and you really made it a safe space and for me free to tell my story. I love that.
It's a conversation, and that's what we're doing. We're having a conversation like we're in our living room with these people, and don't forget editing.
We'll never forget editing. That's the problem is we sit on our couch and we think, I can't edit, or editing is hard. And so then we don't make the move. But the truth is when we say yes, I love that you say we are learning as we go, because one of my coaches, I can't even get one-on-one with her anymore. She's so famous now. She always said, get your clients, then build your program, because they will tell you what they need. And you already have all the expertise. See, we're later in life. We have the expertise. We're not starting out and needing to go to college. We have coaching, singing, corporate. I'm not a singer, but you are. And all the things that we have that we bring to the table in this phase of life is gold.
It truly is. We do live in a microwave society, and there's a lot of AI built programs out there. We've actually lived it. We've done it. We've restarted. Reinventing isn't just a one and done kind of thing, and learning and transformation, it's consistent throughout your life. When COVID hit, I had a similar thing happen. I found myself reinventing myself all over again because we couldn't go out and perform, and we couldn't do this or even speak in the prisons and stuff. So it's a constant learning, and we've done it all. Between the three of us, I think we have 200 years of experience here.
At least.
I'm exaggerating because we're...
And you can go back and listen to Ginine's episode. And what really touched me when I had her on is she felt she was to move. Not only did you feel, I need to do this, but then you did it. You got on a plane and then you met Tracy. And I think so often we miss because we're afraid or we overthink it. Make a plan, but don't sit and overthink it until you don't do it.
Yes, and it took me being in such a low. I had to look up to see the bottom. I did. I went into a deep depression, but it was in those quiet moments that God met me in my silence right then and there. I prayed. I gave my all to prayer. There were just so many things in motion. And so I heard that little voice. And I have to tell you, I had been injured. It was truly one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do because I had to get my house ready to sell. And at the time, I was on my own. I wasn't married. I didn't really have family. I was in pain all the time. But every day I prayed and I just got up and just did. And now, 4 or 5 years later, I look back and it's like giving birth to a baby. You don't remember that pain. You just remember the other side and that you answered that call. And that every day God met you every single day. I would ask for a helper to show up to help me stain my deck. Boom, there'd be somebody there the next day. I am not kidding. It's like, I think the Lord wants us sometimes to, he wants us to give it to him. We were not meant to carry those burdens. Not trying to make this into a religious thing. He doesn't want us to worry or have those heavy burdens.
I don't want to make it sound like we're doing all this work and no, there is joy in what we're doing.
So much joy every day. Yeah,
it's
gratitude.
There's so much joy in it. Seriously, I want to brag on God right now because in the last 3 years, we've done so much in our life. We put out an album, the two of us, Heart Soul Revival.
International best-selling authors 3 times over.
International. How would I become an international best-selling author? I have no idea. Yet it happened, and it's like, what? We are internationally known. We went to Romania and other. It's like we're
Mexico and
all over. We're going all over, and we're doing keynote speech. It's like, what? Now we're TV show hosts, and we're like, a matter of 3 years, my kids are like, they can't catch up.
You're the creme de la creme. You're the creme de la creme. You're the creme de la creme. I never thought I'd love like this again. You pulled me out, up and away. You opened up my grave, my love light shines within. You pulled me out, up and away. You're the solid fire under my skin.
They can't even catch up. They're like, man, you guys, what do you guys get so much energy when you get older? What's the deal?
It's because we have put our passions in alignment with our core values. We have learned how to conquer burnout. And these are all things that we talk about in our keynotes because they truly are critical. We do have more energy now than we've ever had in our 20s, our 30s, even our 40s.
Yes.
But I would say the key thing is waking up every day and writing down 3 things that you're grateful for, because it's so easy in this chaotic, crazy world to think of the negative and to think of the burdens. And there's so much pain and suffering. And we weren't promised a rose garden. We all deal with that kind of stuff. It's how you respond to it. And gratitude is the number one thing. Don't you agree?
I do.
Is there a song that came out of all of that?
I believe it's who we are. We cannot truly be who we are, our authentic selves, if we have bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness. It's about gratitude for the little things in life, what we've been given.
I think that song a little bit what it's about too is that you go through life, you want to do something good, and then you put it off a day.
You don't launch.
And then you put it off another day.
Yeah.
And it's like the one line in there, I had the flowers, but I never did send.
Yeah.
It's
truly.
It's like you put it off and you put it off, and then you get to the point where, well, I can't do it now. It's too late.
I messed up again. Turn my back on you and send us in a spin. Can we move ahead, my friend? I had the flowers but never did send. Devil in my head, and I can't see through the pain inside of me. We keep going down together again. We're getting wet with muddy water to the bullies inside our head. When love's around the bend, we go into the bliss. Feeling high, feeling good, I'm feeling well. Come right into forgiveness.
Yes.
that might offend a person if I actually did it now, that kind of thing. So it's,
Or God forbid the person has deceased. You don't put things off. That's
you don't.
that's a good point. You just do. And it's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's making that very first step. And then you might take a couple steps back, but then the next day you take 4 steps forward because you have Lori Hardy on your side.
Yes.
Giving you love and giving you encouragement. We love you. You are the most encouraging, positive, amazing woman, I think, in our lives.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. But it's reciprocal. I remember when I was going through such an unexpected, difficult time a couple of years ago, and I didn't want to tell anyone, and the family didn't want people to know, but I reached out to you, and I didn't really know you that well, and you prayed for me and for my family. And there's just such comfort. And I knew you would. How many times do people say, oh, I'll pray for you? And I don't wonder, but now I do. Now I'm like, I wonder if they did pray for me. But I knew you would, and you did.
And I'd like to give this tip what you just mentioned, that if someone asks you to pray, do it right then and there.
Yes.
Do it right away. You'll forget. Something will happen. We live in a 30-second society, 7 seconds sometimes attention span. Pray right away. If it's important enough to pray about it, then do it right away.
I love that.
We were talking about COVID and reinventing yourself. When I was in my deepest depression, when I was literally on the floor, on my knees praying, the amazing quiet warrior, because I collaborated with somebody in Australia because we were doing everything remote at that time, that was feeling the same exact way. And it made me feel so much better knowing that this person, I didn't even have to say a word, and she's, Ginine, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Yes, yes, yes. And this amazing masterpiece of Quiet Warrior was created, came into existence, and now we're doing a different version that will be on our next album. Or it's all because of this one song, that came from a place of pain, because we fully believe that music is healing. It rewires your brain. There's so many different things about the arts. It's not just music, it's gratitude exercises, art, music. It gets your brain at that space where you are able to rewire it. It's the neural pathways.
Which leads me to the Lioness, the program that you're about to launch. And you're offering a community where we can have access to you and your wisdom and each other.
Well, it's BADDASS Lioness, double D in there, Baddass Lioness. I hope I could say that on national radio. Every time I see somebody that is doing good in the world and getting up off that couch and just doing, no matter how sleepy or depressed or under struggle they are, I call them a badass. It's been like that my whole life. I just call them a badass. That's where this came from, Baddass Lioness. Plus, in a pride, you've got your lion, and then you have all those lionesses. They're the badasses in that pride. They only survive because they come together. They cannot survive in the wild on their own. So they, as lionesses, come together. They protect their babies. They're the ones who go and get the food. There's so many things that I could say about lionesses that is parallel to women. If we stop comparing, if we stop judging, come together and support each other and encourage, instead of, I can't tell this person or I can't share that because they might take it and run with it, or I got to keep it all to myself. No, we have to come together as a tribe, as a community, as a pride. And I've witnessed that in the corporate world, in the music world. Oh my goodness. We say that when you say, like, you're not afraid to be stupid and this, that, I think that also comes from our ability to handle judgment and rejection.
Yes.
We've got thick skins, man, because in the Hollywood and the music world, you have to have a thick skin. But it's through those trials and errors and those struggles that we've developed this badass lioness. And it is geared towards Gen X and millennial women who are in their second chapter, whether they're empty nesters or just wanting to reinvent themselves. They want to rediscover their passion, and they truly believe that they have a story that can impact the world. They're just not sure how to do it, or they don't have the courage, maybe the courage. The courage is inside of you. It's inside of all of us. That quiet warrior that is just dying to come out. So we've taken everything we've learned, and Tracy has been instrumental in this as well, even though it is a community for women. We're going to have him as a guest because there's so much that he can offer. You're going to be a part of this because there are women that join our community that want to start a podcast. They just don't know the first thing of how to do it. They want to publish a book. They don't know the first thing of how. So we take them from start to finish, and we take them that extra mile because we have the skill to be on a stage in front of hundreds of thousands of people to be able to do that.
Just think about how many women are out there. They're struggling at work because somebody else is like trying to take the same position as them, and they don't really have like their inner circle, like someone that was sharing their wins with, or they're even their losses. They have that inner circle that's tight, back and forth, you can help people grow in. That's not a lot going on out there. And sometimes you can't even get that from your family. You know?
A lot of times you can't get it from your family.
Most of the time. Just kidding.
We kind of joke and, you know, we had like a skit about Spotify. Spotify is like a platform where 50,000 songs a day are uploaded, and how many of their family members actually listen to it? Zero. You know what I mean?
Zero. I know. And that's why we need a community that lifts us up. Two things that come is one, coming from the corporate, there is room. And then the next thing is, as I worked with homeless women,
Yes.
abused women, there were certain men that were allowed to come into Esther's place, which was the day center, but men were not allowed because for so many of these women, men were not safe. But if we knew a safe man, we let them in, we vetted them, and we said to these women, now this is a huge responsibility on us. This man is safe. And we wanted them to know that there are good men, because sometimes when even a successful woman, she may have had a bad experience, and there might be a message in her head, all men suck, all men are bad, all men have an agenda. For you to introduce Tracy, and he's this safe man, they can learn to not necessarily let down their guard, but to start to change that story that there are good men. There are safe men, that men are okay. There are some bad men. And I think what you're doing by bringing him in is so much bigger. Most of these women's group don't allow men. And there is almost an attitude of we can do it on our own. But you're saying we have to be united in everything we do.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up but there is an organization here that I am a part of, and they had asked me to do some music or a comedy skit. They're having this big event. And I said, well, my husband and I are a duo. Oh, no, we can't have any men. We're even having all female photographers, this, that, and the other. And I said, we come together. We're a package. He's safe. He's there. No. And I thought that was really odd.
It's dangerous.
I thought that was odd.
It's dangerous.
Yes.
But also we're vetting. So we're not just bringing in all the men, because we do know there are unsafe men. We all know someone that's going through domestic violence or the narcissistic or the con men. So we know that, but we can't demonize all men. And I think what you're standing for is so brilliant. And I want you highlighting that, because we live in a world where we have parties, we have genders, and we're all kind of like saying our own is the best, but we need each other.
We really do. And I'm a testament to that, because I was one of those people way back when, where I didn't trust anybody. I was an island. I isolated myself, and I was single for over 20 years before I met him. I had given up because I had done the dating scene and it ended poorly. There are a lot of bad men out there that you meet online. I didn't do the bar scene. So it's like, where do you meet people? Even in church, I can go on for days, but I had given up on love, and I was okay with that. I was okay with being single. God had different plans for me, but he had to put the right man in front of me. Plus, I had all those years of healing. So I turned the wounds into scars, and then the scars into, well, what do you call scars when they fly like an eagle? You know, when you take.
Well, they're stronger. When you break a bone, when you have a scar, your skin is stronger, your bones are stronger.
See, I think she stole that name Baddass from me. I kept calling her Badass all the time. It's like, you know, her life story, when you go through her life story and you see what she's gone through, how she flatlined, I mean, serial killer. I mean, you know,
go listen to her episode. You've got to go listen to her episode.
There's so much in her past that for her to be so sweet and lovable and joyful now, she has to be badass to get through all that. She had to learn something, and she's passing it down to somebody else, which is awesome. I love it.
I can't take credit. It's the Holy Spirit. It truly is. It's the light. I love that saying that the light only gets through the cracks that C.S. Lewis gosh, I wish I could remember the whole passage, but it's the light gets through the cracks. So I have a lot of cracks. That's why the light is getting through.
Yeah, but also we can all give credit to the Holy Spirit for work he does in our lives. But if we don't say yes, if we don't stand up, how many people are sitting on their couch praying for something and God's going, if you would just take one step, the path is right there waiting for you. Yes, I love it that you give credit where credit is due, but also you are a badass. You said yes. And I have so much respect for you. You always say yes. You always want more. And I love that. And there are people who are sick and disability, and I don't ever want it to sound like I have no compassion for them. But if we are able, our job is to say yes to God and take action. Action is where it happens. And you didn't know how to do a TV show and you said yes and you did it, and it's fabulous.
She is so correct.
Technical difficulties.
We know enough about computers and everything to be dangerous. It's just that, but technology somehow wants to creep in.
The demons inside the computer. That's the gremlins.
What has touched me with your TV show is you're sharing the stories. And when you said some people are afraid, once we tell our story, once we say the words and it's out of us, things change, healing happens, lives are touched.
Yes. One
of the biggest things that someone can do to help us right now is the shameless plug. Get on that YouTube and subscribe to our show. Man, wouldn't that be awesome?
RockStar Diaries TV show. Yeah, it's on YouTube. We're also Facebook. We also have a website, RockStarDiaries.com, right?
Yeah,
RockStarDiariesTV.com.
Or you can go to heartsandsync.live.
Yes.
And that'll get you it everywhere, because we'll show you so much stuff that we're doing. It's crazy.
We do book ourselves out to corporate conferences and to organizations that are having events. And we go above and beyond. We don't just do a keynote. We do a full concert with music and comedy with a powerful message. And so if you'd like to book us, definitely go to heartsandsync.live. We also have a stage production called More Than the Bottom Line, which is geared towards corporate, kind of highlighting toxic behaviors and how rumors can destroy a company from the inside out. The cancer that comes from the inside out. Destroy companies, it really does. Also, you subscribe to our channel, but if you think you might be a good guest on our show, if you have a story, yes. And then the BaddassLioness.com. It is officially a website now. BADDASS Lioness.com. And people ask, well, why is it double D? Because the regular Baddass Lioness was already taken. Plus, we're double Ds. Like, we're more badass than the normal badass.
Yes.
Yeah. Double D, double S. I love it. I love it. So those are all the places that you can find them. And I would implore you to go on Wednesday nights and watch their show live. Now, you can always find it in YouTube, and definitely go back and listen to the archive, binge watch their show, but go watch it live and be a supporter.
People that we call rock stars and RockStar Diaries are those that do something good and help somebody else. Those are the rock stars.
Yes.
So what is it you want us to know?
What is the story that people will tell about you when you're gone? But what is the story you want them to tell? When I started thinking about that, if I were dead, how many people would show up at my funeral and what story would they tell about me? People don't care about what you know. They want to know that you care. Rewrite your story. We are all more than the bottom line. You are a rock star in your own story. People need to hear it. The world is waiting. You need to go out and make a rock star ripple effect.
Oh, that was powerful.
I mean, truly reflect on that. What would people say about me after I leave? But what do you want them to say?
Yeah.
You can make that happen. Go out, rewrite your story. Show people that you love and care and you're grateful.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. You're never too old. You're never too young. You're never too tired or sick.
Colonel Sanders was 65 years old when he started that restaurant.
Yes.
65. He gained experience all through his life. He was a lawyer. He was everything until he got that far.
It's true. You are more than the bottom line. You are a rock star in your own story. It's never too late to rewrite your story. And the world is waiting for your rockstar ripple effect. You can do it. If I can do it, if he can do it,
exactly.
You can do it.
Thank you so much.
If you love this podcast, here's a big ask. Will you share with your friends and family, subscribe, give us a review, and a 5-star rating so that others looking to reinvent their lives will be able to get the help they're looking for? Thank you in advance.